Welcome to this video. In this video, we are going to master animating like 0x100x. In this tutorial, we will cover basic minimal design and advanced camera animation, chart animation, and the 3D design in a 2D environment. Everything you possibly need to create this kind of animations. So let's begin. Alright, so here we are inside of Adobe After Effects, and now let's begin. So on the first step, what I want to do is that I want to create a sort of a user interface profile animation. So to do that, all we need to do is that we need to go towards the shape tool. Now, when it comes to creating these kind of animations, it's really important that you guys understand how the gradients work. So right now, the fill, as you said, is set on gradient. And if I just change it on solid color and I start to draw a circle, you'll see that our color is just flat. And you can just change that by going into fill option, and you can choose between a radial and a linear gradient. Now for this type, I'm just going to select the radial gradient, and as soon as I do that and I choose selection tool, we have two handles in here that we can control the intensity of the gradient. But as you see on these minimal type of animations, the radial seems we have more colors on the edges, and in between everything is sort of a color that matches the background. So to do that, you need to select the fill option, and as you see, you have a color midpoint in here. And let me just drag it in here so you guys understand better. The more I start to, let me just delete this point. The more I start to sort of push these handles, you will see that we will get more colors from the left side. So this is the color that I want. I think it's suitable for my design. However, I have a palette in here, so I'm just going to select the left point. This is going to be black, and the right point, this is going to be a sort of a grayish color, something like this. All right, this seems super good, and I'm gonna call this one the base, and then I'm gonna duplicate it. I'm gonna reduce the size, and this time we're gonna just fix the positioning of the gradient, something like this. And quickly, we're just gonna get the colors. So this is going to be my main color, and I'm just gonna duplicate it again, and we're gonna just increase the size this time. We're gonna fix the sort of gradient position, and I'm gonna place it in here. And let's just call this one head, and this is going to be the body. And I'm gonna use the track matte to track matte it to the base, and I'm gonna reveal the base. So this is going to be our head and body, and I'm gonna just push the head a bit up. I'm gonna reduce this scale a bit down, and also once you do that, you need to reposition everything again. Great, this seems good. Now all I need to do is that I need to pre-compose it. I'm gonna call it avatar, and I'm gonna open the avatar, and I'm going to select the region of interest, and I'm going to draw a rectangle around it. And in composition, I'm just going to select crop comp to region of interest, and this will cut the composition, and it will allow us to control this really better. Okay, this is good. Now all we need to do is that we need to add a sort of a line for the text. So I'm just going to go towards the rectangle tool. I'm going to draw a box like this, and also another box in here like this. All right, so we're gonna select that, and this time we're gonna switch into the linear gradient, and we're gonna just adjust this slider like this. And we can just also open the palette, which is this one. You can see the color palette. All right, this seems super good, and we can just now proceed with creating a background. And I'm gonna just place it in here, and I'm gonna add a bit of noise. Let's just set it on 10% or just 6. That should be good. All right, and I'm just gonna call this one line. However, I'm just gonna add a text, and this is gonna be your money. All right. I'm gonna just set it on here. Okay. And we're gonna pre-compose it. Let's just call it line. And again, we're gonna go through it. We're gonna select the region of interest. We're gonna draw a border around it, and we're gonna select crop comp to region of interest. All right, and then we need to reposition it, which I'm gonna do it exactly in here. All right, so far so good. Now let's go towards the chart animation, which it can be tricky for some of you, and it's really easy. So all I need to do is that we need to draw a rectangle that can be the base of the chart that we want to do. And I'm gonna just increase the roundness. Super good. We're gonna press V to go towards the selection tool. And let's just set it like this, and we can just change it on here. We can just change the source of light from here. Okay, this seems good. Now, what I'm going to do is that let's just go towards the line, and we can stylize it a bit further. Right now, as you see, the borders are sort of merged into the background, and we can easily fix that by adding 0.5 pixels of a stroke. So this will allow us to create a really good difference between what it was before. So as you see, this will create a huge difference in here. So these tiny details can take your design from a linear to a great one. So I'm gonna just do that for this one as well. This one I'm gonna just set on 0.3. And again, I'm going to draw another rectangle in between. Okay, let's just press B, set a light source. And quickly, we're just gonna just set the roundness to 50. Okay, and let's just also set it 0.5 of stroke. Okay, this seems super good. We can just increase the roundness a bit. All right, so this is the base of chart. And now let's just base and chart base. Okay. Now let's just turn off the stroke. And this is the trickiest part. Let's just set it on 6 pixels stroke. And I'm gonna draw a line, like this. So this is going to be our graph. Now, the trickiest part in here is that we want to add a gradient when this chart reveals itself. So let's just first now just write balance. So I'm gonna just write the balance, and then I'm gonna duplicate this text, and I'm gonna call it 0. All right. So let's just align it. I'm gonna use the ruler, and everything right now is aligned, which is good. Now I want to add a gradient behind this chart. So when we reveal it, so let's just call it line. And I'm gonna use a trim path quickly to animate this chart. So let's just add a trim path. And let's just animate it to 1 second. Great, and let's just set these things on 65%. Okay. This seems super nice and super clean, but we want to now take it to the next level. So to do that, what we need to do is that we're going to duplicate it, and we're going to call it gradient. Or color seems to be good. Now, if I turn off the stroke and I turn on the fill, as you see right now, it looks ugly because we need to close the border of the lines that we have made. So I'm just gonna quickly close this, and I'm gonna push it beneath the line. So as you see right now, we have the color. And let's just go towards the palette that we have, and I'm gonna change the color to the palette that I have in here. All right, this seems good. Now with this rectangle tool selected, I'm gonna go towards the mask tool, and I'm gonna draw a mask around it like this. And we're gonna use the feather to feather the mask, and we're gonna decrease this opacity to something like this. Now we need to animate it. So how do we animate it? Well, simply we're just gonna we're gonna delete the trim path, because as you see, trim path will make this animation bad. So we're gonna go towards the content, delete the trim path and open the mask section. And in mask path, just select these 2 points. Let's just set a keyframe first, and let's get back to the beginning of it. And we're just gonna push it like this. Now it's a matter of adjusting these two into a same animation. So let's just watch. So as you see, this one is a little bit faster. So I'm just gonna decrease it by increasing the distance between the keyframes. All right, this seems super good. Now let's just go towards the line. Let's just decrease its thickness a bit, or not. I don't like this color. Let's just turn it into bit green color. I think it looks better. Now we can add a deep glow. And let's just turn down the radius to, let's say 100. And the exposure. Okay, this seems good. Now we want to add a shiny, a sort of pointer to follow this path. So let's just go towards the rectangle tool. Let's select the ellipse tool. I'm going to draw a ellipse like this. This should be good. And I'm going to turn it just into white. Let's add a deep glow on top of it. And this time I'm just going to turn down the radius to 80. However, I'm just going to increase the exposure. So this will be something that we want, but now it needs to follow the path. So to do that, what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to place it at the beginning, and I'm going to just reveal the line, and let's just open the path and press Ctrl+C, and then I'm just going to go towards the position. I'm going to press Ctrl+V. So this will create this path that we want. However, we just need to adjust it sort of to fix it. So let's just quickly adjust these points. Great. But as you see, it looks super bad. Let's just press F9 to apply standard easings, and then we need to sort of adjust these keyframes to follow the main movement. Alright, so this seems done, which is quite nice. Now let's go towards the animating the number. So basically I'm going to add the currency counter mono spaced, and let's just turn down the pad zeros to 3, and let's just also decrease the digits. And let's just press U to reveal the keyframes. All right, I want to set it on 10,000, so let's just decrease one of the zeros. Okay. This seems super nice. All right, now let's just decrease the distance between the numbers, and this will give us a better animation. Great. Now everything so far is super good. Let's just add a double quotes. And okay. Great, so the chart animation is done. I'm gonna pre-compose it, and let's just call it chart. And again, as with what we did before, we're just gonna go and we're gonna use the crop tool to crop it so we can animate it better later on, and we're gonna adjust it towards here. All right, so far we have this animation. Now it's time to animate it using camera. So the first thing I'm gonna do is that I'm just gonna create a new camera, and the type is set on 1 node, the preset is set on 35mm, which is fine, and I'm gonna create a null object. I'm gonna call it the camera controller. And let's just pan in the camera to the camera controller. And we're gonna just set this one on 3D so we can see everything. So on the first step, what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to create a simple reveal animation for the first part. So let's just set it on here. Let's set a position keyframe. Let's go 25 frames forward and let's just push it above like this. Around here should be good. And let's just set it on 65% influence. Now I'm just gonna hide the chart for now so you guys can see better what we are going to focus. Great. Now we can even take this further by adding a rotation. So what I'm going to do is that I'm just gonna move the time indicator in between. And when it's in here, I'm just gonna create a bit of rotation to sort of give it a depth. So when it comes up, I'm just going to sort of bring it back. And we can just make it better by simply just decreasing the X rotation to 2%. And then, okay, we're gonna set it like this. And now we're gonna apply these standard easings. You see that? This looks super good. All right, now when it comes in here, we're gonna reveal the text. Well, to do that, I'm just gonna open the line. I'm gonna select the Your Money and I'm gonna just open it in Animate menu. I'm gonna just add an opacity. Let's set the opacity on 0. And we're gonna open the range selector. Let's just set a keyframe on offset. And let's just push it on 100. Now in advanced menu, we need to change the characters based on from the characters to words. So this is going to be our animation. All right, this is going to be our animation, but however, we also need to add a bit movement to this animation. Right now, as you see, it looks super flat, in my opinion. So the camera stops. In these type of animations, the camera should never stop. So what I'm going to do is that I'm just gonna create a new null object. And let's just set it on 3D as well. And I'm gonna parent these both line and avatar into it. I'm gonna press P to open the position. And we're gonna go a bit further. And we're gonna just push it a bit up. Something like this. You see that we have this movement, but I'm gonna increase the distance because I want it to be as linear as possible. And now when it's in here, we're just gonna use the camera control tool. I'm gonna duplicate it. We're gonna parent it to the second camera. And we're gonna turn off everything. And we're gonna reveal the chart so we can see it better. All right, the position seems to be good. I don't think we're gonna need another camera. So we're gonna just animate it manually. So I'm gonna press P to reveal the position when it's in here. And let's just press P to open the position. And let's just set a keyframe. And when it's down, I'm just gonna push it a bit down like this. And I'm gonna set it on 65% influence. Okay, now we're gonna just set down the opacity on 0. And now I'm gonna set it on here. So right now, as you see, the chart already is finished. So we need to sort of set this on the beginning, but however, we're gonna just push it on here. Great. So when it shifts, I'm just gonna reveal it. And let's just also parent the chart to the null. And now when it's in here, we're just gonna duplicate the camera. And let's just parent it to the second one. And let's just remove everything. And this time, what we're gonna do is that we're just gonna, again, set these keyframes. But this time, I'm just gonna shift it towards the right. And I'm gonna just zoom out a bit. And I'm just gonna push it a bit up. So something like this. So as soon as it comes, goes, and then as you see, it shifts towards the right. And now we're gonna just duplicate it. And let's just parent it to the control tree. Remove everything. We just need a position. And let's go 20 frames forward, and I'm gonna just push it up like this. Okay, this seems good. And I'm gonna set it on 65% influence again. And now when it comes in here, we're just gonna cut everything. So this is going to be our first scene. And I'm gonna call it scene 001. So as soon as it finished, now it's time to shift to the second scene, which is the coins that we want to show how we can make the 3D coins. Now it is super simple. We're gonna just start with a circle that is the base of the coin. And now it is time to add depth to it and create an illusion of 3D. So let's just bring the palette for a second in here. And I'm just gonna set the base on black. So right now, as you see, the color is just too flat. So we're gonna go and change the fill from the solid color to, let's say, a linear one. And we're gonna just set it to something like this. Okay, this seems good. Now what I'm going to do is that I'm just gonna duplicate the base too. We're gonna just turn down the size a bit. And let's just right now set it on white so you guys can see better how I'm gonna be able to create that illusion. All right, so this time I'm just gonna set it on white, and I'm gonna turn this one into a gray color. So this is for the base too, and let's just set it on here. Or we can just use the, I think if we use the gray and black, this should be better. So as you see, right now we made a 3D coin, and if we could duplicate it one more time, and I'm gonna turn it down again, and this time I'm just gonna set the palette on, for example, let's just decrease it down so we can see it better. So let's just set it on pink, and this one is a bit black. All right, this seems super good. And I'm gonna just go towards the type tool, and I'm gonna write a $sign. I'm gonna set it on here. And now we can just use the deep glow to make this edge a bit better. And now what we can do, let's just delete this coin. We can just select everything, and we can just call it coin. And now what we need to do is that we're gonna just use the extrude plugin, which is completely free. And I'm gonna just use extrude with 50% depth. So now we can just basically, when it comes in here, we can just use the rotation for the Y value to create that illusion of 3D. And let's just set it on F9. So now it's a matter of creating that perfect cut for ourselves. So when it's in here, we're just gonna press P to reveal the position. Let's just set a keyframe. Let's go a few frames forward, and let's just push it down like this. And we're gonna just set the influence on 65% as well. So we just need to reverse these keyframes because we want the reversing. But when is the cut happening? And let's just offset it a bit. I'm just going to cut it, and then this will be our animation. Alright, now what we can do is that we can just duplicate this coin, and I'm gonna just remove the position keyframes, and I'm gonna parent this one to the coin depth, so we will have something like this. And I'm gonna push it down. This is going to be the second one, right? And I'm gonna just use the rectangle tool to draw a mask around it, and I'm gonna use a feather, and then I'm gonna decrease down the opacity to 50%. So now this will give us an illusion of the 3D coin that we have in here. So I'm just gonna reposition it to here. Alright, now when it's in here, we also need to add a bit of camera animation, because without camera, the animation will not look good. So let's just add a null and along with the camera, and when it comes in here, we just basically gonna create a zoom out animation like this. Well, this is super great. Now, what we need to do is that I'm just gonna create a vignette effect. Well, to do that, what I'm going to do is that I'm just gonna create a pure black background, and I'm gonna just draw a ellipse like this around it. That just covers the in between. And now I'm just gonna use the invert, and I'm gonna use the feather to create this sort of vignette effect around it. Now what you can do in order to even make it better, you can add a new adjustment layer, and you can add a looks preset that will make your animation looks better. And also you can just create another solid layer, and you can add the optical flares. And this time I'm just gonna open one of the custom presets. I'm gonna just set it in here, and I'm gonna select on the transparent. Now I'm just gonna push it beneath the background so it doesn't affect the vectors that I have in here. I can just use the position, and I'm gonna just reposition it into here. So as you see, it looks super nice and super clean. And at the end, in order to create a more depth, we can just create another adjustment layer. And this time I'm gonna add the optics compensation effect. And I'm gonna just change the FOV orientation to vertical. We're gonna just reverse the lens distortion, and we're gonna just increase it to something like this. So as you see, without the effect, it looks super flat. If we increase it, like, let's say into another high number, you're gonna just see that we have that distortion that looks super nice. But you see it's just too much, and I'm gonna just decrease it down to here. And here's the final result, and I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave out a like and subscribe for more videos. Thank you so much. Goodbye.